In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're discussing a topic that might be kind of small to you. It's called microaggressions. Have you heard that term, Matt? Microaggressions?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But we're going to be talking about that and explaining what it is and why it matters. Because you probably know what this is, even if you don't know the term. So we're going to get into that. And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
City of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, and we are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
I am so excited to not be there.
Yeah, that is Matt Fox, the other voice you hear. If he sounds a little bit different, it's because he's in Grand Rapids today. He's not in studio, but he's still helping me out. So kudos to you, Matt. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here, hanging out.
For you.
We're here in the Palatial Podcast, Your Voice, Southfield Studios.
You are.
Hanging out on Monday evening. Matt's hanging out too, although in a different city, couple hundred miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not that far, but
just anyway. 100 miles. You're good.
Yeah, that it's good. Yeah, you're close enough. So let me tell you folks where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. We are right in the midst of prom and grad season. In fact, I'm headed out this weekend to Iowa, Creston, Iowa, for an all-night or post-prom hypnosis show at 2 a.m. on Saturday night going into Sunday morning. So if you have a post-prom or a post-grad party and you're still seeking entertainment, do it now because dates are filling up quickly. In fact, the schedule is already starting this coming Saturday. So if you have a show and you need entertainment for your show, a stage hypnotist, now's the time to do it. Do it at motorcityhypnotist.com/shows. You can have a quote within seconds and you can book online almost immediately. Check that out. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno. That is HYPNO. And as usual, this is episode 355. As we've done, going all the way back to show number 1, we're giving away a free hypnosis guide. Just text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll receive a text from me with a downloadable PDF. It's a hypnosis guide that I've written. It's a couple of pages. Just gives you a basic overview of hypnosis, how it works, why it works, and also dispels some myths and misconceptions. You can have that totally for free by texting the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. You will also get a link to my Google business page for the Motor City Hypnotist. I would greatly appreciate you clicking on that link and leaving a review of the podcast. Or if you've seen me in person doing a show, or if you've seen me personally for hypnosis sessions. Any review applies. We're talking in the podcast right now, so that's the main thing on the front of our minds. So, yes, do that. I would greatly appreciate that review on whatever platform you're listening on, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever it is. Please leave a review there because it helps more people get a hold or get connected to the podcast. And whatever It is on your platform. Connect, subscribe, link, whatever it is for you. Do that so you don't miss any future episodes. All right. It is time, Matt.
Here we go.
Here we go. Wait, there.
There it is.
That's how winning is done.
All right.
All righty. All right. Here we go.
I need something. Bring it. Come on.
Luis Perez is no stranger to pain. At 45 years old, he has been battling MS most of his life, lost his vision at age 23 due to complications of this condition, and now receives regular plasma infusions to combat symptoms of his autoimmune disease. All of this has been extremely difficult and has led him to experiencing depression, anxiety, and self-isolation.
Sure.
In a heartwarming page turn, the story was shared with GNN about how Lewis decided a guide dog may benefit his life.
Oh, I love this.
He turned to the 501c3 nonprofit Dogs Inc.
Okay.
Dogs Inc. period.
Yep.
Where he was matched with a black lab named Jerry in September of 2024.
Jerry?
The dog's name is Jerry.
With a G or a J?
J, with a J. Jerry.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You know what's funny, Matt?
What's that?
My wife's aunt and her husband had a dog named Jerry.
With a J.
With a J. Yeah. Yes. It just made me think of that because I just thought it was like, somehow when dogs have human names, they become, I don't know, there's something more endearing about it, I guess. You know, like our current dog, our dog's name is Charlie. It's a human name.
Yeah. It's a human name.
Yeah. So he turned to the 503 nonprofit Dogs Inc., where he was matched with a black lab named Jerry in September of 2024. Jerry does more than lead Lewis. He has improved his confidence and socialization and is a trusted friend and loving companion and helps Lewis live his life to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became something further still, a hero. Recently, Lewis was experiencing pain and discomfort that he attributed to his MS, but this time it felt slightly different. He had a lot of pain when moving his left leg in certain positions, so he was remaining in his recliner chair. Jerry kept persistently coming over to Lewis and pressing his chin down on Lewis's leg. Jerry had never acted like this before, and eventually Lewis and his wife decided to go to the hospital. After hours of waiting and testing at the hospital, Lewis was diagnosed with a blood clot in his left leg called deep vein thrombosis.
DVTs, yeah.
Yes, DVT. It was exactly where Jerry had laid his head.
Oh, see, okay. That's why I am a big supporter, proponent for service dogs because they sense exactly what's happening. And for a dog to sense a DVT, a deep vein thrombosis in his leg, that's immaculate. That
is amazing. And we've done, Matt, over the years, we've done a lot of these winners of the week, which are dog stories sniffing out diseases or maladies that the person didn't know they had or didn't suspect that they had.
Right.
But this is really specific. This isn't just sensing a heart attack or a stroke. Even those are impressive, but this is really particular. DVT is a very serious condition that can progress quickly, and it was crucial for Lewis to receive treatment that very night. If his dog had not alerted him, Lewis said he would have accredited the pain to his usual symptoms and would not have taken it seriously. The dog is now not only his guide and dear companion, but also his hero.
Right. It has to be. That dog has to be just a saint.
Yeah.
Jerry the saint.
Do you want to see Jerry, Matt?
I would love to see Jerry. Come on. Let me see what Jerry looks like.
Here's Jerry with Lewis as owner.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So Dave, oh my goodness, look at him.
I know. It's beautiful.
That the black lab. I had black labs growing up, Dave. And I had two black labs growing up. Both of their names were Fudge.
You had both of them named Fudge.
Yeah, Fudge when I was a toddler and Fudge when I graduated from high school.
Okay, so they weren't there at the same time.
No, but they are amazingly smart animals, and
yes.
I stand by Jerry and what he did.
Yep,
that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
No, and we always love stories with happy endings and good results because that's why it's a winner of the week. So, fantastic story.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
I know we always gravitate towards these animal stories, but they're so good. It's just like I just get attracted to these stories where animals are just an integral part of human society.
So you're aware of Animal Talk Radio, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And you were introduced to Animal Talk Radio by Jamie, and I was introduced by Animal Talk Radio from Jamie as well. And it was always, the characteristics, the behaviors of animals themselves, and dogs, cats, sea anemones, whatever you want to call them.
Anemone.
Right.
Anemone.
Pets, dogs, they've been a part of our lives for centuries.
Yes.
Going back thousands of years, there's always been some type of an animal that somebody was connected to. So being that we're still connected to animals, and it's even a deeper for Jerry to recognize a DVT in a human, just think about what the evolution has done.
Has done for dogs. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Absolutely. It
so
is
thank
amazing.
you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that story up.
Yes.
So back to it.
So today, folks, we are talking about microaggressions. Now, I asked Matt in the intro, has he ever heard that term?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But we're going to get into it because right off the bat, some people might say, well, what the heck is microaggressions? So here's the thing. We're going to explore the subtle but often overlooked issue that a lot of people experience. So
microaggressions. So of course, the first question is, so what exactly are microaggressions? What's the definition? What do they mean? So I'm going to read you just word for word the definition, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Microaggressions are subtle, often unintentional comments or behaviors that convey bias or stereotypes towards a particular group. They're called micro, but their impact can be anything but small. So let me give you a couple of just general examples. And this is what microaggressions could sound like. Wow, you're so articulate. Now, when I say that, that sounds like a compliment, right, Matt? It's kind of in between negative and positive speech at the same time.
Well, give me your reaction as far as what the negative would be on that.
Say that again. Say what you said again.
Give me your feedback when I say you're so articulate. What are the negatives that you could take from that?
But what did you say that was? What was the comment?
I'm telling you, you're just talking. Doesn't matter what you say, and I say, "Wow, Matt, you're really articulate."
Okay. The negative part would be I don't understand, or it's confusing. I don't understand what you're saying because what you said, because you're so articulate. I don't understand the word inebriate.
Right. And I want to go a little bit further.
Okay.
Because I say, "Wow, Matt, you're so articulate." The inference is that I didn't think you were articulate until you did it.
Oh, so you didn't think I had a good control of the human language?
No, personally, I think you do, but for the sake of example,
I know. I got you.
Yes. Or here's another one. And again, these are just general off the top of my head. That's where you're from.
Born and raised in South Detroit. That's where I'm from.
So again, it's kind of like it's passive comment, but there is some aggression towards that.
little bit. I could hear that. Yeah.
And here's another one, and this one I hear a lot from a lot of different people.
Okay.
I don't see color. I don't see color. And it's kind of
that
this
means
like
that means you
do see color. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just the fact that you brought it up shows that you do see it. And that's the problem with it. So there are a lot of examples. I can give you some general ones. A lot of times these don't show up as necessarily actions, but as statements when somebody has these microaggressions. So an example would be if you constantly mispronounce someone's name.
Oh, that's the worst.
Even though you may know what their real name is or know how to pronounce the name. It's just this passive aggressive, like, dismissal of another individual.
Davi, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll give you a real life example. And this is not getting political left or right either way. But when the presidential election was happening, Kamala Harris was running, but half of the population called her Kamala, not Kamala. And that was intentional for the most part. It's kind of a subtle jab towards somebody just to say I don't really value you, so I'm not even going to say your name right.
Right.
Yeah. Or another overt example would be like if somebody was on the street and you walk by them and all of a sudden this woman like clutches her purse like you're going to take it. Again, there's no interaction. There's no statement. It's just that subtle action that says, I don't trust you. I think you're going to do bad.
Right.
And here's the thing. Most of these microaggressions are not intentionally meant to cause harm to someone. It's just people's natural reaction. But here's the thing. Intention doesn't erase the impact of it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. Right. So what are the psychological impacts of these microaggressions? So here's kind of an example I could kind of use.
So Dave, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you ever been on the subway in New York City?
Yes.
All right. So there's microaggressions constantly on the subways of New York.
Yeah.
And what you just said, ladies hanging onto their purse, people that are with their luggage because they're trying to get to the airport, they're keeping her super close to them, and they keep moving it around. There's microaggressions all the time on the New York City subway. So,
absolutely.
I mean, what is your example?
So this is just a general, just a generic example. When you get a paper cut, it hurts. It's not a big deal. It's not really something you worry about or think about.
Sure.
But what if you got a paper cut every day? At some point, it's more than annoying. At some point, it becomes painful and hard to ignore. So I view microaggressions as the same thing. They're like paper cuts, but over time, consistently, and eventually they have an effect.
And over time, the aggression builds up.
Yes,
and there's
absolutely
a point where you everybody has a boiling point. Everybody has that line that gets crossed. And if it's starting to happen every day, that's where we have problems in society because people just blow up. Right?
Well, yeah, and if you're a victim of these microaggressions, even though they might not be intentional, over time you may experience anxiety and self-doubt, emotional fatigue even, and you might start questioning yourself like, well, maybe I'm the issue here. Am I overreacting to this? Did they really mean it like they said it? So you start to doubt yourself and your own judgment as well. In this internal debate and conflict, that's part of the damage. That's part of the harm that microaggressions cause.
Right. Yeah. And microaggression, it's like you're talking one side. There's another side to that because you're feeling microaggressions. I just said it. It's building up. You can only stand so much over time.
Well, it's just like any other emotion is sometimes you can take emotion and take it until your cup is full, and eventually it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. And
it's going to fill up.
Where does it go? It either goes outward
or inward.
You lash out at another person because that one person that took you over, and then you're lashing out at someone. They're like, what the actual H just happened?
Yeah.
Or you internalize it, and that's where it hurts. And that's where you start to get depressed and what have you. So my question is, how do people deal with these microaggressions so they don't end up to the point where they lash out? Or
absolutely.
Fine line that they have to walk, right?
And definitely we're going to cover that, Matt, as far as I'm going to give you specific steps. No, that's okay. Because again,
I get ahead of you all the time, man.
That's the natural reaction. People want to know, okay, what do I do about it? But let's cover a little bit more ground. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of scenarios.
Okay.
Say that you're in a meeting, Matt. You work in finance, so you're in meetings a lot.
Okay. Yep.
What would be your reaction if somebody said to you, wow, you're surprisingly confident?
Was I not before?
Exactly. Exactly. On the surface, that sounds like a compliment. But underneath it, the suggestion of that statement is they didn't believe you were confident.
Correct. Right. He's like,
so it's like this passive aggressive insult, even though it's framed as a compliment.
Right. And do people realize that they actually do that, or is it more of a knee-jerk reaction?
You know what? Yes, you're great question. Sometimes there is awareness, sometimes there's not. Sometimes people are unaware that they're even doing this.
Sure.
And that's what makes it more complicated, because it's easy to get angry at somebody for saying something like this. But they might not even realize it. They might not even be comprehending they're saying this, or that it has this effect. So that's the tricky part, because it is not necessarily intentional, although it could be.
Right.
Here's another one. That in this is probably, again, it's a generic example, but I know it happens. Let's say let's say you're a minority and you work in an office building or an office, and someone repeatedly confuses you with the other person who's your same ethnicity. So that can be very off-putting, whether you're Black, you're Asian, you're Hispanic, it doesn't matter. But that person I'm going to say with this example, probably out of ignorance, doesn't focus on names in particular or individuals. So but it is still kind of an insult, like, oh, I'm the only other Hispanic person here, so you think I'm Jose and not Pablo? You know what I mean? I mean, it's just this kind of a classification that, oh, you're in that group, I don't really need to know.
Right.
So here's kind of a reflection question for people to kind of look at and kind of examine. Think about a time when something small or inherently insignificant made you feel bad. It stayed with you. It made you feel like you're less than. You were probably a victim of a microaggressive statement. So we talked about, again, you asked Matt, is it intentional or is it not? In this section, we're going to cover this. Why do people do it? If these microaggressions are damaging to other people, why do people do it? So oftentimes, again, granted, they come from unconscious bias. There's these mental shortcuts that our minds take based on your culture, your media, your upbringing, what people around you believe.
Right.
So it's not always bad intentions. A lot of times it's ignorant because people don't know any better. It's kind of like saying, kind of like making a racist slur, but you're not trying to be racist. You're just ignorant. Do you know what I mean?
Can I share an example with you in that regard?
Absolutely. Right.
And I've been I've been the aggressor. I'll just say it out loud. I've been the aggressor to microaggression, where one of my best friends in the world, and I said something at dinner one time, and he looked at me like I had just offended him and his entire race.
Wow.
And I didn't realize what I said.
Well, sure. On your end, it was not intentional.
I was, just being me. And what I said, when he looked at me, he said, "That's one." And I didn't understand what he said. And 5 minutes later, I said it again, trying to be funny. And he looked at me and he goes, "That's two." And that's when it clicked.
Okay.
That I was offending him. And he is he's a very emotional person. And for him to look at me and just the seriousness in his face, he said, "That's two." I understood what I said, and I apologized profusely because I didn't realize that what I was saying, the one word I said, and it's not an offensive word, but it was how I said it.
Right.
And that's what caused him to become offensive.
Yeah.
Of what I said.
And again, it goes to my point that it's not intentional. You're not trying to do harm.
No. And to this day, I now know people who are emotionally intelligent have to understand it's not what they're saying, but it's how they're saying it.
Yes. And again, that just
completely different.
Yep, and that just kind of reinforces the fact that good intentions don't cancel out the harmful impact.
Absolutely,
somebody feels what they feel, so it's just good to be aware of that. Yeah. So, what if you're on the receiving end of these microaggressions? What do you do?
I'll tell you what you do, Dave. You do exactly what my best friend did.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me an opportunity to recognize what I said.
Yep.
And if they don't understand it, you got to give them 3 strikes, right?
Sure.
And that's where it lies. You have to give them the opportunity to recognize what they said and how they said it.
Yep. So let me tell you, if you're on the receiving end of this, here are some things you can do. Remind yourself.
Yeah.
That statement felt off, but my feelings are still valid. Because a lot of times we'll dismiss our feelings and say, it's not a big deal. I shouldn't worry about it. It's not that big a thing. Don't do that. If you feel off, something is happening. Second thing, pause and choose. So here's the thing. You don't have to respond immediately if you feel a victim of microaggression, but it's good to just wait for a moment, realize what's happened, and then have that conversation. Now, here's the thing. The next step is name the issue that came up to the person who did it and say that comment made me feel uncomfortable. Can we talk about it? So you're opening the channels of communication to talk about what was said so that hopefully they can understand why the thing they said was hurtful to you. And then the other one is find support. Talk to other people who may be experiencing the same thing. So the other thing is...
Wait, real quick, Dave.
Yes,
so,
yes.
My example, the experience that I had in this microaggression. 1, I was not being aggressive. Okay. Yep. 2, we were having a good time. Drinks were flowing. We were having a great dinner. There was no aggression in what was said. It was how it was said. So, and they may not understand that they are being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how they are saying it. I'm actually doing a presentation about the difference between positive and negative speech. It's not how you say it. It's how you say how you say it changes things. Right.
Yes. Absolutely.
So the difference between the positive and the negative. You are being fun, you're being positive, you're being jovial, but it's being taken negatively.
Exactly.
So and that is that fine line that we all have to walk in how we say things. So when someone says something that is microaggressive, they probably have no idea that they are doing it.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, you're right. They may have no idea what they're saying is offensive or affects you.
So instead of looking at it as to how people are taking it, how can people that are saying it be more cognizant of what they are saying? Is it thinking before they speak?
Perfect, because that leads us right into this next thing. As far as if you have said something that can be considered a microaggression and you didn't even know it, that's fine, because you didn't know. But once you know, here's the things that you can do. If you're wondering, have I done this before? Have I said something that offended somebody else?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There are 3 things that you need to do if you feel like you have hurt somebody with a microaggression statement.
Okay.
Listen without defensiveness. Apologize without qualification.
Sure.
Learn and adjust. This is honestly, those 3 things are really the whole basis of honestly all of mental health. Listen without being defensive, apologize without qualification, and learn and adjust. That is the concept of therapy in a nutshell. Those 3 items.
Is it that easy though, David?
I mean, on paper it is. So here's the thing though. Awareness is our first step. If we don't know something is happening, we have to be told. So if you're unaware, I don't want to say you get a pass, but at the same time, if you're not aware you're doing it, how can you change it?
Right.
So
and
awareness is number 1.
And so I have yet to forgive myself for the transgression. Right.
Yep.
I would still reflect on it. I know I did it. I know I said what I said. I didn't mean it offensively, but it made somebody defensive, and they took offense.
That's really kind of the frustrating thing, because there was no ill intent on your part,
but
because consciously you wouldn't do that. But then once you hear it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's not what I meant at all.
And that's not me. That's not who I am. That's not how I represent.
Right. Exactly.
Myself or anybody. I am everyone's best friend to a fault.
Sure. Yep.
It hurt me more than it hurt them after it came to light. And I still reflect back on it. And that's part of growth when it comes to not being microaggressive.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
So folks, we're going to do microaggressions part 2. We split these up into 2 parts. We always do this. It's just so we can cover everything that needs to be covered. So in the next episode, I'm going to cover, if you're a victim of microaggression, what can you do? What should be your response? How can you handle it? And that's going to be coming up in the next episode, Microaggressions Part 2. If you're on Facebook Live, stay with us. We're going to record another episode. If you're on whatever platform you're listening on, skip ahead to the next episode. If it's not there, it will be there on Tuesday or Thursday.
Perfect.
So before we leave,
who is it? Who is it?
Somebody needs a home.
Show me.
Rio.
With an R-I-O?
R-I-O. Rio was born in 2013.
Oh, a senior puppy.
It's a mini poodle mix, male, 7 pounds, dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, yes. Kid friendly, over 8. Perfect. Activity level is medium. Matt, Matt. I wish you were here. I want to see your reaction in person, but I'll look on the video anyway.
13-year-old poodle
for Rio.
Oh, come on. Oh, they're adorable.
That's it.
Puppy.
Look at.
Come on.
Look at him.
He's adorable.
Matt, I picked this one because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, this is like the ugly dog that's beautiful. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Like his mouth is dirty. He looks like he's been rolling around and shit.
His name is Rio, and he dances on the sand. Yeah, that one.
He was dancing in the mud, I think. But anyway, Rio needs a home. He's a senior dog. He's 7 pounds. Somebody please bring Rio home and love him for his remaining days. Please. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Rio's waiting for you.
Guy's fun. He looks fun.
He does. He just looks like you want to love him. That's what it looks like. All righty, folks, that is our show for today. Again, Facebook Live people, stick around. We're doing one more episode. Everybody else, skip ahead to the next one whenever it drops. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time. In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we are talking about microaggressions. This is part 2. If you've not listened to part 1, you can jump back an episode, listen, and catch up to us here, or you can listen to it after this episode. But this is microaggressions part 2. We're going to talk about if you're a victim of microaggressions, how should you handle that? What are your
I'm excited. I'm really interested. I'm really interested in this side of everything.
Yep, absolutely. And it'll just give you some strategies and some things that you can do to deal with this. And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Yes, we are.
That is Matt Fox, the other voice you hear. If he sounds a little bit different, it's because he's 100 miles away in Grand Rapids tonight. But
you know
still
what? I'm here,
with
I'm
me
here
and
for you.
Podcast. You are. You're fantastic,
I'm
Matt. Kudos. So let me tell you, folks, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. It is time for prom and grad season. In fact, I head out this weekend to Iowa for the first of 3 weekend shows in Iowa. They love me down there. I don't know why. Maybe I like corn. Who knows? Whatever. But anyway, prom and grad season is right upon us. So now is the time to book your event if you've not done so. motorcityhypnotist.com/shows. You can have a quote within minutes, and we can book within minutes as well. So check that out ASAP, because dates are filling up very, very quickly as of right now. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist. Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno, HYPNO. And this is episode 356. So as we've done, going all the way back to episode number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll receive a text from me. It will include a downloadable PDF. It's a hypnosis guide that I've written. It's a couple-page guide that just kind of gives you general information on how and why hypnosis works and dispels some myths and misconceptions. It's yours for free. Just text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. You will also get a link to my Google page, Motor City Hypnotist Google business page. Yeah, we greatly appreciate if you leave a review there as well, because that will help me out tremendously. And wherever you're listening, whatever platform it is, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever it is, leave a review there as well, because we want to get the podcast out. We want to grow the audience. We just hit 10,000 downloads a couple of weeks ago. So we want to kind of keep that momentum and build that and just get the podcast out to people who could benefit and enjoy it. That would be greatly appreciated.
Just make a comment and share with your friends, your family, your
Absolutely.
neighbors.
Yeah. Spread the word, because I mean, we have fun, but we give good information and we want to help people. That's why we're doing this. So,
and we do it with fun, right?
And yeah, we do it in a fun way. And I've said this, Matt, I know we've kind of made this intentionally this way. I don't want this podcast to be like dull and drab and like, oh, and using a lot of psychobabble. Oh, you're experiencing the shame cycle, which is causing you, undue thoughts of negativity. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be real, the way I talk to clients in my office. So that's why we do this. So definitely leave a review. That would be greatly appreciated. All righty, Matt, it is time.
Is it?
That's how winning is done.
All righty.
What do you
so
got?
No animals in this story, Matt, but it is a good one.
That's okay. What's going on?
A teenage Texan has earned a commendation given fewer than 300 times in the history of the Boy Scouts.
Can you repeat that one more time?
A teenage Texan has earned a commendation given to fewer than 300 times in the history of the Boy Scouts.
And how long have the Boy Scouts been around?
Oh, that's a good question.
Let me Google it. You go on.
Yeah, you Google it and I'll keep reading. Devon Champensy. Devon Champensy was one of several teen Boy Scouts from Houston rafting down Class 3 rapids at summer camp in Georgia's Blue Ridge Mountains. Scout leader David Lemley was at the stern and on a particularly rough patch lost his balance and fell into the water. Climbing back in, he can be heard in a video from his helmet camera laughing and saying how fun it was in the hot summer day.
Wow.
When further down the river, Lemley fell in again. However, fun was the furthest thing from his mind. His foot got stuck under the seat of the raft while his head and torso were underwater.
Wow.
Splayed out across the side of the raft, unable to move, his opportunities to breathe came only when the water level happened to be low enough that his head emerged. Meanwhile, his helmet brought him vital time as his head bounced off rocks as the raft surged down the river. Taking a deep breath and steadying himself, Champensy, just 13 years old at the time, clambered across and released Lamley's foot before kayakers helped complete the rescue. I have no doubt that if Devon hadn't released my foot, I was going to die, Lemley told KHOU 11 News. It took a while for me to take in the fact that this just happened, and I saved a life, Champensy said in the same interview, admitting he just acted on instinct. Lemley's foot had been broken in the ordeal, and Champensy had to take the role of pilot as there were still 20 minutes of rapids left to get through.
Oh my goodness. Are these class 3, class 4 rapids?
Class 3. Class 3.
Oh, man.
Yep. He kept everyone calm and focused until the job was finished. When all was said and done, Devon, having been recommended by his scout leader, was awarded the Honor Medal with crossed palms for unusual heroism demonstrated in the course of saving a life.
That's crazy.
Fewer than 300 of these medals have been awarded in the more than 100-year history of the Boy Scouts. So there you go, Matt. 100 years for Boy Scouts.
Right. So the Boy Scouts actually were incorporated in February of 1910.
Okay.
By William D. Boyce in Washington, D.C. Yep. And it was the organization was formalized and inspired by a British scouting movement that was founded by Robert Baden-Powell in 1907. So
nice.
Yeah. So the Boy
300 times in over 100 years, this award has been placed.
Wow. And it was unusual. It was unusual behavior.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Unusual. What did you say? Unusual what? Bravery?
Yes. The honor medal with cross palms for unusual heroism.
Thank you.
Yes. Yep. Demonstrated in the course of saving a life. That's the important part too.
It's not just walking old ladies across the street, Dave.
Nope. So it came with a special recognition from Texas Governor Greg Abbott as well. Now 15 years old, Champensy is attempting to become an Eagle Scout. And KHOU 11 had to remark that they felt it would be a breeze for this young hero to achieve Eagle Scout.
Sure. Yeah. And Eagle Scout is the creme de la creme of Boy Scouts, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Were you in Boy Scouts, Matt?
I was not. I was a Girl Scout. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
No, there's some advantages to that.
My mother was a Girl Scout troop leader.
Oh, okay. So you had to go through the whole thing. Yep.
So I had to go on the Girl Scout trip. Yeah. So I was an honorary Girl Scout.
Poor you, man. That's a torture. Go camping with 50 girls.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. I don't know what you're talking about.
Good for you.
But my
that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Yeah.
My father is an Eagle Scout, and my brothers or I believe one of my brothers is an Eagle Scout, and my partner's sons were also in the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts have been around. Have been around for a long time, and there is a store in Troy, Michigan that is a Boy Scout store as well. And you can
yes. In fact, when my son was in Scouts, we had to go out there to get some of his stuff, his paraphernalia. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
The organization got quite a few black eyes over the past couple of decades.
Yeah, which any organization of that size, you're probably going to have some undesirables, let's say.
But what they teach young men and how they teach young men and how to survive in the wild and what things to do, knots to tie and what have you.
Yep.
There's a lot of great things that the Boy Scouts have done.
No, absolutely. I went through the whole course of Cub Scouts, Webelos, Boy Scouts. I never got Eagle Scout. I think I only had like 20 or 30 badges, but it's fine. Yeah. But you're right. It keeps people focused on not doing bad. I guess that's the best way to put it. Right.
They're not out doing drugs and going clubbing at 13.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, they're doing things for the community and helping out. So
it's the same story for the Girl Scouts. It's teaching young women what to do, what to look for, keep their heads on a swivel. And
it teaches character.
Correct. Yeah. I love that word, character.
Absolutely. Yeah. So definitely kudos to Devin, the Boy Scout who saved his scout leader's life. Definitely winner of the week.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
Just on a side note, Matt, I've been whitewater rafting probably, I'm going to say 8 or 10 times in my life. And we would go down to West Virginia to the Gauley River. And these were all class 5+ rapids.
I've been on the Lower Yow, Yough, Lower Yow. Yep. Those are class 3, class 4s. I had an absolute blast. I will share the pictures with you of us going through a rapid. We had a riot going through the rapids. And there was a group in front of us that didn't speak English, and they had a really tough time.
Oh no!
I'll tell you later. But
so
what's your story with the whitewater rafting?
So the Gauley River again. These are class 5+. So the way this is set up in West Virginia on the Gauley River,
Yeah.
If there's an upper and a lower, when you put in the upper, you put in right where the dam is. Now, they've changed things since we went 30, 25 years ago, whenever it's been. Because it used to be, I don't know if you've seen these dams with these huge holes that have to be like 1,000 feet apart, and the water just billowing out of those at full force. That's where we put in. You put the raft in right there, right where all that water is rushing out, and then start down the river. Now they've updated that, of course, over the years to be hydroelectric, so it's not as what's the word? It's not so intimidating, let's say. Yeah. But I will say
technology has had to take a step.
They did.
Yes.
But I will say that I went out on a class 5+ rapid.
I'm proud of you.
And it was scary. Like,
I bet.
I went head over heels, feet above my head. And when you go under, there's no up, down, left, right. There's no sense of anything. You just wait to come up.
Oh, yeah.
It was scary. It was scary. They had to pull me back in, and so I'll say that if anybody's ever went over in whitewater rafting, it can be a scary ordeal for sure.
It's terrifying, Dave. It's very terrifying because again, you don't know which end is up.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's where the whole microaggression. If you're the aggressor, you don't know which end is up, and you're looking at a wave of something, and that's coming back at you, and that's the person that's trying to understand what you just said,
right?
And they're taking offense to it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So in general, and anytime you felt dismissed or stereotyped or disrespected.
Like a wave.
It's like getting pulled under a class 5+ rapid.
Thank you.
You're going to feel this. Now here's the thing. Your feelings are valid, even if the intent was not intentional. Even if the statement was not intentional, your feelings are what's important. And if you feel dismissed or stereotyped or disrespected, that is valid for you. That's what you feel. So you might notice some things that happen if you're a victim of microaggression: frustration and anger, confusion, like, wow, did they really say that? Self-doubt, emotional exhaustion, and anxiety. So these microaggressions bring up all these negative emotions. And here's the thing. The hard part is it's so ambiguous that they're subtle, because some microaggressions, again, oftentimes aren't intentional. They could be just an offhand comment. And then you ask yourself, did they really mean it that way?
I didn't know you had such a stranglehold on the English language, Dave. Ambiguous?
It's hard because it's really ambiguity, but I probably see
No! Don't shut me up.
Yeah, but like a chicken.
Our segue is complete.
Matt, I'm going to be honest. I got in the middle of that word and I don't know where it went. It just like, there was no good way to finish it. It was just crazy.
No, don't shut me up.
But the fact is that we made it from class 4 or 5 rapids to microaggression. So
yes, we did.
That
was a great transition, brother. That's perfect.
For professionals, yeah.
So a lot of times when we're victims of microaggression, and again, it's hard to understand because you think a lot of times when we have a negative reaction, we doubt ourselves. We're like, well, maybe they didn't mean it, or maybe they didn't know. But the whole thing is your feelings are valid. Your emotional response is not an overreaction. It's information. Your mind and your body are signaling to you that something is off or something's not right with this.
So the individual that is feeling that aggression, what are they feeling? Is their heart rate?
Great question, Matt. I can tell you exactly what they're feeling.
Please do.
your nervous system goes into stress response, which means fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reaction, because automatically your nervous system goes into that defensive response or even offensive response. So here's some tips as far as what happens if you feel like you've been a victim of microaggression, whether it's a statement or an action.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of techniques that I want to share with you.
Please.
One is called the 3-3-3 reset.
3-3-3.
Yep. I don't know if you've ever heard of this technique, Matt. Okay.
No, I have not.
So what this is, it's a type of mindfulness techniques that kind of grounds you into your current reality.
Is this a part of emotional intelligence of an individual to recognize?
It could be. It's recognizing when you're in an emotional state that is not regulated.
Okay.
So grounding or mindfulness techniques helps bring us from out here. I know those of you on audio can't see me waving my hands,
but you're out. Okay.
Yeah. It brings that reaction from out here to inside.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3-3-3 reset is 1, you name 3 things you can hear, 3 things you can see, and you move 3 parts of your body.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
And what that does, again, it's a mindfulness techniques, and all mindfulness techniques are designed to do is bring you from this noise that's out here back inside yourself to just quiet and just relax. So it helps you bring out of that emotional overwhelm and brings you back into the present moment. So there are also other techniques you can do, which are, again, simple mindfulness techniques. Slow, deep breaths. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4. This creates, all of these mindfulness techniques are designed to just give you that pause to let your brain reset. And that's the whole point of mindfulness techniques. And that's why it's so effective with anxiety, because it gets you out of that excited state back into this more introspective, quiet state.
Sure.
Yep. So here's the thing. If you're a victim of microaggression, you're not obligated to have to respond to it. Like I know sometimes, especially if you think it's intentional, the thing is to attack it or correct it. Sure. But you really don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So there are some approaches that you can use that are not so confrontational, let's say. One is clarifying the question. A simple clarifying question could be, I want to make sure I understood you. Can you say that again?
Or better yet, because it's all about emotional intelligence and recognizing your surroundings and what's coming at you. Instead of tell me what you meant, it's more of help me understand what you meant by that statement.
Yep. Well,
because it makes the other person think,
Yes. Well, here's number 2 in that clarifying question is, can you explain what you just said?
Help me understand. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And what this does, it's a gentle challenge, but it's not a confrontation.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
It's a highly emotional, and I keep saying it, it's a highly emotional, intelligent reaction, because you're not putting them on the offensive, right? Or on the defensive.
Or on the defensive, right?
Neutral, right?
Yep.
It's a neutral area.
Yep. Number 2, as far as things that you can do or how to respond, is an I statement. And I use this a lot, Matt, when I'm working, especially with couples in therapy, like in relationships. I will, this is one of the things I do almost every couple, the first session. I said, okay, from this point going forward, I want you guys, when you're interacting, to only use I statements.
You mentioned this. You mentioned that before.
I'm sure it's come up because I really pound this. This is something I really try and reinforce. Because when you use I statements, you're not projecting onto the other person. You're saying what you feel, and somebody can't argue that. Somebody can't contradict that because it's how you feel. So expressing your experience without being accusing. Here's an example, a couple of examples. Hey, Matt, I felt uncomfortable when you said that. Can you explain a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
Or this is a little bit more direct, but I'd really prefer that you don't just make that assumption without any context. I mean, that is a little bit more direct. But
a little bit more direct, yeah.
Another way to do it, and here's the educational response to it. Hey, Matt, that comment, it really can come across as stereotyping because, and then you say why.
Right.
Or, hey, Matt, here's why that language might be offensive to some people. This is why.
That's just calling them out on their bullshit is what it is.
No, it kind of is. And again, also keeping in mind that they might not know they're doing it. That's why there's a gentle way to approach it without being confrontational. Because again, I am one of these people. I don't like confrontation. I don't enjoy it. And most people, I would say, don't.
Right.
So there's a good way to do it. Here's the educational response. I'm sorry. We did that one. The boundary response.
Okay.
And this is in a case where sometimes direct is best. Hey, what you said is not okay with me. Or, you shouldn't say things like that. Again, that's a little bit more direct, a little bit more to the point, but it just depends on what we're doing. So the other option is choose not to engage at all. Because at this point, silence isn't a weakness. It's something that you just don't want to deal with. And you're just going to take it and you're going to move on. And that's also an option.
So, and that's where when we started our conversation in the last episode, that's where things are building up, where you don't, you say nothing, right? You just don't. And that's where it starts to build.
And then it can build up in you, and you can get resentment and anger and these.
And that's where the depression. Am I good enough? What's going on? I'm not confident enough. That's where that starts. And if folks could be, honest with themselves, and if something truly bothers them, they need to be able to, vocalize that in a way that it doesn't offend the other person. It just brings it back to that neutral ground.
Yep.
And it's hard work. It really is to be able to get to that point where you can recognize I'm offended. I should say something.
Yep.
How do I say it?
Yep. Absolutely.
It takes hard work.
This is kind of the challenge in many relationships. It's to get your point across without being confrontational.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fine line, and it's very difficult to do.
It is.
So the other thing that you can do is processing after. If you've been a victim of microaggression in whatever form, it's good to process it because that can linger emotionally. If somehow you in some vague way you were insulted by a microaggression or criticized in some way, talk about it to somebody you trust, a third party, somebody not involved. Journaling helps, just to write out what you're feeling, what the experience meant to you, how it affected you. Name the experience, just recognize it. Hey, that was a microaggression. So it's kind of on that person. It's really not a reflection on me. And the big thing is to not blame yourself, because it's easy to kind of take these microaggressions and kind of hold on to them in some instances and start to believe what this other person is saying.
Sure.
And that can happen just as far as somebody with maybe low self-esteem or not a strong sense of self. So that can be difficult.
Sure.
So the big thing is, if you're dealing with these microaggressions often, it's not about just kind of getting through it. it's about setting some longer term strategies. Okay, if I'm with this person who is constantly making these comments, do I need to be around this person? Or, if I'm hearing the same thing over and over again, should I look at myself and kind of evaluate, is there any truth to these statements that I'm hearing? Because again, that sometimes will happen. You'll get this self realization that, oh yeah, I guess I am doing that. So again, some specific steps you could do: build support systems, friends, family, people you trust, people you have good relationships with. Set emotional boundaries. Limit exposure to people or environments that bring up these bad microaggressions or feelings. And the other thing is trust your perception when you're dealing with people. And here's the thing. You can say to somebody, or you can evaluate and know somebody did a microaggression towards me, but it's not necessarily conscious. So you're not really getting like this personal attack or vendetta against a person, because they just might be ignorant. That's not an excuse, but at the same time, how much is it? How much energy do you want to expend to address this?
Right.
Because sometimes if you just focus on yourself, and this is honestly, this is the whole theory of therapy. The world is effed up. You're not going to get favors. You're in general, people are going to disappoint you, but that's why you have to have a strong sense of self and your own self-worth, so that those things are not as effective for you, or not effective to you.
I hear what you're saying, and it comes down to what side do you want to be on?
Yep.
Are you going to be the person that's going to take offense and let it build up, or are you going to be the person that's going to confront? Because we talked a few times about confrontation. I'm not a fan of confrontation. You're not a fan of confrontation.
Right. And honestly, there are people who do kind of get off on confrontation.
You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. And people, tend to thrive off of confrontation because that's where they live. But then they create confrontation, and that's where the problem lies.
Exactly.
And if they're just trying to create confrontation, those are the folks that you don't want to be able to rely on, or you don't want to rely on, because you know that they're going to create confrontation.
Yeah,
you want to
absolutely.
If you want to grow as an individual and be able to take care of your own business, Dave, and represent yourself, you don't want to rely on somebody else. You need to rely on your own character.
Yep. So here's the thing. If you're dealing with microaggressions, or you've been a victim of microaggressions, there's no right way to go about managing this. No. Some days it might be the best thing to speak up and confront the person. Sure. Other days it might mean just walking away and just not addressing it at all.
Time and place, right? A time and place.
Yep, but both of those approaches are valid. It's just whatever it dictates in that situation for you to be respected, seen, and safe.
So do I feel a part 3 about?
No. I think we're kind of close to wrapping this one up, Matt.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to listen without dismissing. Avoid defensiveness.
Okay.
Speak up when you experience microaggressions. And just take care of yourself, because here's the thing. Other people, and this is a therapy thing, and I know people will get it when I say it, but and I say it in session a lot, and people have to just take it.
Okay.
You are never going to control anyone else's actions or what they say. It's never going to happen. As much as you try, you're always going to fail. The only thing that you have control over is yourself.
Yes.
So The bottom line is, if you're a victim of microaggressions and they're coming from this same sources over and over again, you need to evaluate why you're still in contact with these sources. That's for you, for your own self-care, your own well-being, your own mental health. And I know it's hard to dismiss or to end relationships, but if somebody is not healthy for you, it's better to end it than to kind of deal with it over weeks, years, I mean, a lifetime. Some people are in such dysfunctional relationships they never get out of. So
wait. And do you really have to end the relationship, or can you just kind of pull yourself back from that relationship?
I mean, not necessarily. Again, it depends on the situation, the degree of what's happening. Every situation is very individual.
Sure.
So when I'm working with clients, we take that all into account.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if you're with somebody who's constantly having these microaggressions towards you, then you have to evaluate. Do I want to continue to experience this? The other thing is, do you really feel like that there could be some change? Because that's the biggest question. If you don't feel like that's ever going to change, then why continue?
Sure.
If you feel like the other person has some insight and some self-reflection, then yes, it's something we can work on.
Sure.
That's kind of the ongoing struggle in therapy, is that who is this person really committed to making this better? And especially working with couples, there's always one person who's more committed than the other.
Right. And they might seem that they're committed to changing, and this, I can change. Can they?
Yep. So the big thing is, if you're a victim of microaggression, you deserve to feel respected and seen and heard and safe. That is the bottom line. And if you don't feel that, that's something you need to work towards.
You need to be able to feel that you're seen and heard consistently.
Yep.
It can't just be a one-off. It's got to be consistent.
Well, and again, when I'm working with clients, we need to see long-term changes. It can't be just for a day or a week or a month.
Right.
We have to establish long-term patterns.
It's lifetime.
Absolutely.
Friends, spouses, husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters,
whatever. Yep. Absolutely. All righty, folks. That is our microaggressions part 2. Before we go today,
who is it?
Somebody needs a home.
Who is it?
Happy.
What?
Happy needs a home.
How old is Happy? Happy looks like they're barely 2 years old.
Happy was born 3 months ago.
Holy shit. Come on.
December of 25. He's a pit mix female. Sorry, she's a pit mix.
She's a pit
female. Will be 50 pounds, full grown, so not huge.
No.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, yes. Kid friendly, yes.
Wait. 3 months and they're cat friendly?
Yes.
Wow. They have no idea.
Activity level is high, which is understandable being a puppy. But there's Happy. Let me get my finger off of her name.
She's adorable. Look at the markings on
beautiful.
her.
I know. We've had some great looking dogs over the last few episodes.
When are we going to get Detroit Dog Rescue on the podcast?
You know what? That's a great question, Matt. I am going to reach out to them. That's on my to-do list. We're definitely going to do that because I'd love to have them on and talk a little bit.
So help me understand why you haven't done that yet. Was that microaggressive or what?
No, it's just ineptness on my part. It's just being overwhelmed with life and work and everything else that goes on in life. Yeah, not an excuse. I just being honest.
I appreciate what you do and how you do it, David. And it'll happen when it happens. There's no rush.
And I do have, and I've shared with you my aspirations as far as getting more interviews on our podcast getting Detroit Dog Rescue involved. So there's a lot of possibilities. I just need to get my ass off and the floor and do it.
You're good, brother. You're good.
Yeah.
But I appreciate what you do.
After June 10th, because it's prom grad season until June 10th.
I heard you, and I agree.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, folks, that is our show for today. We'll be back next Monday, right around 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join us on Facebook Live, we record live on the Motor City Hypnotist Facebook page. Matt and I are going to get together at some point and get my YouTube hooked up so we can do a dual broadcast. We can do that, Matt, right?
Yeah.
You
just need to give us what we need. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's just I never focused on my YouTube stuff because there's not a whole lot on there. But if I start funneling the content there also, I could build that area. So yes, definitely. You got it. All righty, folks. That is our show. Change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time. I got a copyright strike.